Welcome back. Yep, we're back here on the tractor project, and today I have Mr. Tussey. Hello, Mr. Tussey.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. My trusty helper today. My trusty helper. So what we want to do here is we're going to look at this hydraulic valve here. And one thing you want to do when you're putting this tractor or taking this tractor apart, these two tubes right here transfer oil from the pump to your valve. So if you don't take this off and take this out, you got to understand that this portion of the tractor goes down to the top, the front cover. It goes down, and there's a space, and it goes in, it plugs in down below. And there's two O-rings down there. You got to make sure that you have those in there properly. Go ahead and grease this tube up so you can get in an O-ring. You got to take these out before you can split the tractor. And when you put it back together, you got to put them back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find, and I'll push that dude down in there so it seats on the O-ring. I'll grease this one up. Do the same thing. If you don't take those out, you will not get that tractor apart. Try as you might, try as you may. It just ain't going to come apart for you today. Now, down in here we see these O-rings. I'm going to try to get them out of there and replace them. I can tell it's going to be lots of fun. So, what I need is my pick. There's my cat. Hi, Chablis. Meow. Hi. She don't care. I think she's just here for the food. Ah, and look. Thank you, Mr. Tussey.
You're welcome.
If it wasn't for him finding my pick, well, you know how that goes. I'm going to take this pick. I don't even know if you can see this, but I can. I'm going to dig that dude out of there. Yeah. It don't want to come. I know, girl. That rubber gets old and it gets hard, and that's why it needs to be replaced. Not necessarily because it's cracked or damaged, because it's just not malleable anymore. I'm going to shove that dude right down in there. Get it right back in that groove. Easier said than done, right? Come on. Sometimes it is easier said than done. Sure. Yay. Grease that dude up a little bit. don't put too much grease in this thing, because what will happen is it'll go around and circulate through your hydraulic system and it'll clog your filter. Now this thing is heavy. There's no other word to describe it except for heavy. You might want to call it heavy, but it's heavy. So we'll wiggle it back. Get it where it needs to be, or close to it. Now, what you got to kind of do is work the hydraulic lines at the same time. But I'm going to come back to that. We got that much closer. We're going to make this a short video. Now, my trusty assistant is going to hand me that flashlight. And we had somebody asking about the PTO. Go ahead and do your lever. So, go do it slowly. Inside that box, there is a shift collar. What that shift collar does is it grabs a spline shaft, something like this, but not quite. And it slides it up over the collar that comes out of the end of that clutch. So if you can see what's happening is that throwout bearing, when you're pushing that, this lever is going to go down there. It's going to push that throwout bearing, and it's rocking that. And if you've seen, we talked about the shift collar earlier in an earlier video. It's pushing that shift collar in and out of that shaft, and it's disengaging the clutch. This works kind of like a synchronizer. So what happens is you got the power coming from, if we looked at, remember up here, that big gear in the front of the transmission that's run off the outer drive shaft that comes out of the clutch. The dual shaft that comes in here drives that big gear in the bottom. That big gear in the bottom drives the shaft that goes through here. Then that shaft has got a spline on it similar to this, something like that, and there's a shift collar in here that comes up on that spline and mates that surface. So what's happening simultaneously is that clutch is disengaging as that shift collar slides on. As that shift collar slides on here, you know, that's up here, and then as the shift collar slides on, the clutch re-engages. So if you watch those clutch plates, you'll see them separate and separate and then come back together. So that's what's happening there. So that's why this tractor, there's no smooth way to turn the transmission or turn the PTO on. It's pretty much on off. So hopefully this video is helpful. Hopefully you can see something on this. We'll come back and we'll talk about other things later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.